Hey folks, how's it going? This is Dan, the World Traveler. I'd like to talk to you today, but I'm going to change gears a little bit. Usually when I talk about my world travels, and I've traveled quite a bit around the world pretty extensively, all six continents, and I say six, I don't, there's obviously seven. I haven't been to Antarctica. I don't anticipate going to Antarctica, but I've been to six continents. And usually when I talk about my world travels, I talk about outside the United States. I'm going to switch gears here today and talk about a place that's kind of special to me. I don't know how special it is to a lot of people, but it's Amarillo, Texas. It's in northern Texas, and I've taken many trips going from the Midwest up to California and back, and you can't really do that trip. Well, I guess you could, but a lot of people, when they make the trip from the Midwest to California, they can't help but to pass through Amarillo, Texas. And Amarillo, Texas, this video is about Amarillo, Texas, but I will tell you, I'll just go ahead and talk about all of that part of the panhandle of Texas. It's what I like to think about is it's kind of it's a beautiful place with it looks like the plains. It's just it feels like something out of a movie when you're driving past it. It just the open field, the farmland, the whatever they grow there. I don't. It's probably not what's grown in Indiana and Michigan and Illinois. It's probably pretty different as far as what they grow there. Probably a lot more, probably different kinds of livestock. But anyway, Amarillo, Texas itself is beautiful. It's just a very special, peaceful place for me. Probably for somebody who actually lives in Amarillo, they may have a different perspective, and that's fine. But if you ever drive through Amarillo, Texas, try to drive through when the sun's going down. Not exactly when the sun's about to go down, because you're gonna have sun in your face, and that may be dangerous. But I recommend kind of like timing it so that you're driving there when there's a beautiful sunset or sunrise, rather, going through Amarillo, Texas. It's just really kind of pretty, and it's really it feels like a place that the rest of the country has forgotten about. That's what it feels like. But it's just kind of peaceful and quiet, and it's very peaceful in a way. If you ever do go through Amarillo, Texas, I recommend you stop at this restaurant called the Big Texan. Got no complaints about it. Had wonderful service there, and it was not as expensive as I thought it would be, because it's kind of it's a well-known place, and well-known places, you pay a premium for going to a well-known place. And the Big Texan, great restaurant. I got a burger and fries, and I paid about what I would pay at a restaurant, any other restaurant, and and you get, I was not disappointed, and the staff were very friendly, and I wanted some pictures taken of me to kind of show off that I was there, and they were more than accommodating. So no complaints about the Big Texan. You really ought to stay there. Evidently, somebody said something about if you stop there and you eat a big steak, you get it for free or something like that, 72 ounces. I'm not I'm not here to verify or deny that. I don't know anything about that deal. I don't know. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not true. I don't know. I'm not going to say whether it's true or not, but that's what I heard. I heard that if you stop at the Big Texan in Amarillo, Texas, you eat a 72-ounce steak by yourself, you don't pay for the meal. But again, that could be true. It could be false. Don't take my word for it. I don't know. I'm not here to substantiate or unsubstantiate that. But the Big Texan was a good experience. Another place in Amarillo, Texas, I recommend is stopping at the this place called the Cadillac Ranch. It's some people years back took a bunch of Cadillacs and buried them halfway into the ground. And I guess they're Cadillacs. I mean, they call it Cadillac Ranch. Maybe that doesn't mean they're all Cadillacs. Maybe they're different kinds of cars. But they took automobiles and buried them. I've actually walked up on it and seen it. Buried them halfway into the ground so that half of them were sticking up. And people come by, and and it's kind of a tourist attraction now. You go up there with spray cans, and you just spray all over the cars. I didn't do that. I didn't personally take spray paint and spray paint all over the cars. I didn't feel the need to do that, but I saw others do it, and they got some enjoyment out of it, and that's fine. And there's a big field there, so it's kind of in the middle of the field. It's right off. I believe the if I remember correctly, the Cadillac Ranch is just as you come to the western outskirts of Amarillo. But anyway, northern Texas, beautiful place, very, very beautiful, peaceful place. The homes are quite affordable. Of course, from what I hear, that may or may not be canceled out by the tornado insurance you have to buy, because that is, from what I heard, I could be wrong. Northern Texas is where you get a lot of tornadoes, and you could lose your home in a tornado, and you'd want to have insurance against that. And from what I hear, the cost of tornado insurance for your home could potentially cancel out some of the savings you'd get by buying a house in a cheap part of the country. So that's I'm not going to expert on that. I'm not going to say whether that's right or wrong, or whether I'm right or wrong, but in that arena, but maybe something to consider. But northern Texas is pretty. Lubbock, I've been there. Lubbock, Texas. You take route, I think it's called Interstate 27. 40 goes east to west across the Panhandle, the northern Texas Panhandle, and Interstate 27 starts. I believe, I could be wrong. It starts in Amarillo and heads south to Lubbock. I think that's right. And if you're not familiar with driving around Texas, you'll see what they call service roads on the side of the road. So it's kind of like a highway next to the highway. That's what it feels like in a lot of Texas. The interstates, you have the regular interstate like you have in the rest of the country, but then there's a service road that runs along the interstate. So that's kind of like what it's like in a lot of Texas. I've seen a lot of Texas, and a lot of the state runs like it's like an interstate along the interstate. It's two interstates running parallel to each other. That's what it feels like. They're called service roads, I believe. But yeah, the driving across, from the Midwest to California reminds me of the movie Grapes of Wrath. One of my favorite lines from the Grapes of Wrath is the preacher. I believe I could be wrong, but I think it's John Carradine who said, quite famously, he said, there's something going on out west. I'd like to see what it is. I could be wrong about exactly what he said, but that movie cheers me up. And driving through Amarillo reminds me of the movie Grapes of Wrath with Henry Fonda, made in, I think it was 1940 was when it was made. But anyway, driving through northern Texas and Amarillo is really kind of a peaceful feeling. It makes you just kind of a part of America that we maybe not pay attention that we don't really pay much attention to. And the wind farms, lots of wind farms in northern Texas. It's a lot of for good reason. Lots of wind blows there, lots of potential energy. But anyway, Amarillo, Texas, northern Texas, one of my favorite parts of the country. And I was very happy to tell you about it. And this is very happy to tell you about it. And again, this is Dan, the World Traveler, signing off. Have a great day. Dan, the World Traveler, talking about Amarillo, Texas. Bye now.